Hey everybody, and welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me today. In this video we're going to look at another cool lighting setup that professional photographers use for portraits. Naturally, before I get started, I want to thank you to everybody who has subscribed and hit the notification icon. It helps my channel grow and it helps me out immensely. Also, a huge thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon or becomes members on this channel. Again, your support is awesome. Thank you ever so much. So let's jump right into this then. So this light setup is really common among kind of semi-pro and pro photographers who just want a nice, quick, easy setup. And often it's referred to as the Triflector beauty setup. And you will find out why. Now, I've already got my character set up in the scene just so I don't have to load it in afterwards. But if we reset our camera view like this, what we first thing need to do is click on this icon here that says create new primitive. It looks like three shapes squished together, and we're going to create a sphere, and it's going to be 2 meters in diameter. Leave everything else as it is and hit accept, and here is our object. Now we're going to go by clicking on the ball next to the perspective view drop down, and we're going to change to wire shaded mode like this, and that just means that we can see our wireframe. Now we're going to reset the camera again just to make sure we're at the front, and we're going to click on the geometry editor tool, which is this one that looks like a checkerboard with a pencil over it. Now we're going to select our sphere in the scene tab, and we're going to right click, and we're going to make sure that our selection type is set to polygon and our selection mode is set to drag selection. Then we're going to drag out a selection, and we're going to keep a hold of the control key so that we can continue our selection when we let go of the mouse. And we're going to select all of these front faces except for these 4. So everything on the bottom is going as well. Those 4 stay where they are. And then basically everything on the back like so. Keep selecting those faces. Make sure that those 4 at the front are still good, so we can get rid of that one and we can get rid of that one. Keep dragging out our selection. Now we go on top and select these last few faces. Go underneath to make sure we've got all the bottom. So those are the only 4 faces that are not selected. Then we're going to right click, and then under geometry editing we're going to hit delete selected polygons. Then just say yes. So now we've got this kind of cool shape here, and what we're going to do before we do anything else is go into our parameters tab, and we're going to scale it down on the y-axis a little bit just so that it's kind of pointed up like that. I'd say y scale about 70% is a good number, like so. Now in our surfaces tab, what we could do is, in the real life version of this lighting setup, this would be a gold kind of material or a silver material which reflects really well. But in Daz Studio, when you bounce light off of a surface, it causes your render to slow down because it has to calculate. So what we want to do is minimize our calculation time. So what we're going to do is we're going to change our emission color to a kind of peachy, orangey kind of color, like somewhere in that vicinity like that. And that's going to mimic a gold surface reflecting a white light off of it. And then we're going to select that. And then in our luminance, we're going to change our luminance units to KCD over M. And then we're going to change the luminance, and we're going to drop it right down to about 100 because it's having light reflected off of it. It's not supposed to be an actual light source. The next thing we want to do is create another primitive, and this time it's going to be a cone, and we're going to set the length to 0.1 of a meter, and the diameter is going to be 1 meter. And then we're going to select accept. Now we're going to go back to our geometry select tool, and we're going to click on our cone instead of our sphere. And all we're going to do is select all of the faces on the top. We're going to make sure that the bottom surfaces are not selected. Then we're going to right click. We're going to go to geometry editing and delete selected polygons like so. Then we're going to use our move tool, and we're going to drag this up just so that it's kind of probably about a meter, just over a meter high. We're going to adjust it afterwards, but it's a good starting point. And then we're going to go into our surfaces tab for the cone, and we're going to change our emission color to plain white, like that. And we're going to change our luminance units to K, CD over MR, like that. And then we're just going to leave it as it is. Next thing we want to do is parent our cone into our sphere. And then we're going to change the visibility of our character like that so that we can get these in the right place. And we're going to go into our parameters tab and we're going to adjust the position. And what we want is for the sphere to be kind of there so that it's sort of hugging her around the waist a little bit, but not too close. And we want it to be slightly higher, so it's kind of belly button height, like so. Then we're going to select our cone and we're going to bring that back forward so that it's almost directly over her head. And we're going to bring it down slightly, just so that it's maybe one head length over the top of her head. So that's pretty much bang on, like that. And we can come out of wireframe mode now, and it should look something like this. This hugs nice and close, and this is just overhead like that. Now what we need to do is we need to get our camera in place. Now ideally you want your camera to be about 3 meters away from the subject. Now obviously being Daz Studio, we can do that with ease. So we're going to click on our camera icon in the top left hand corner. We're going to apply default settings and just hit accept. Then we're going to 0 the X. We're going to set the Y to about 110, and then the Z translate is going to be 300. Then we're going to 0 out all of our rotations like that. Now we can jump into our camera like this and we can see what we can see. So first thing I'm going to adjust the focal length of the camera by clicking it in the properties tab, and then we're just going to change it so that it's nice and tightly cropped in, and then we're going to change our Y translate so that we've got the character's head and upper torso in frame like that. And then we don't need to apply depth of field because this is going to be a portrait, so this is really all we need to do at this point, except for, of course, select the character's eyes like that, and we can change their point at to the camera for both the left eye and the right eye, like so. Perfect. Now she's giving the camera a nice kind of glazed over expression, which is ideal. And when we jump into NVIDIA Iray mode, we can see the final effect. And you can adjust the crop of the shot as much as you want. I tend to crop off the top of the head quite often because it's just how I do things. And as you can see, what we've got is a nice strong overhead light. And I feel like the light under the arms is creating too pale of a light. So what we can do is we can select our sphere like that, change our emission color, and we can go a little bit more into the red like that, bring that down slightly, and then we should see a color change. Should go slightly more gold, which is what we're after. But as you can see, this creates a really nice soft lighting effect. It highlights all of the contours of the character's body, and the light around the waist kind of just softens up those shadows nicely. I hope you found this useful. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.